Welcome to today's webinar at Apryse. We're talking about enhancing document processing with Apryse IDP, driving digital transformation through AI. I'm John Chow, Product Manager at Apryse for the Core SDK or Server SDK, and it's my pleasure to talk about how the IDP add-on for the Server SDK can help you with your digital transformation and accessing data from your own documents. A recent study by Flexera says almost 3/4 of enterprises and organizations consider digital transformation a top priority. However, only 5% of organizations who implement a plan to do a digital transformation end up being successful. One of the biggest challenges in a digital transformation plan is dealing with your legacy data. Legacy data, in this case, how it applies to Apryse, are PDFs and other documents. These documents, while in themselves are data, what's most important in the digital transformation is accessing the content within. With the Apryse SDK and our IDP add-on, we can help you leverage the content within your documents to help build your digital transformation and make better business decisions. To help understand this idea, let's imagine a fictional company. Let's call them Bytecrafters Incorporated. Now, Bytecrafters has a large plan to update their entire workflow. They want to get rid of what they currently do, and these are the current hurdles that they have. It is a manual process to process documents and pull out the information therein. Employees need to be trained up. Time is spent on reviewing their work, and it's just long and cumbersome process. In order to do this work, these employees need to probably use several third-party packages of software, whether it's image acquisition, scanning, and manipulation. There is document operations, probably cutting and pasting of pages and content therein. You need to possibly OCR and recognize documents that are not native PDFs and find the content therein and transform it into some other file format, likely databases or XML, in order to make it usable. Lastly, all this process needs to be secure for your own business, whether it is PII, or you're just trying to make sure that hackers have no way of accessing this information. Software as a solution packages run on servers on the internet that you have no control over. It would be more ideal if this was run locally, perhaps, for very sensitive information. Now, all these hurdles can be overcome with the Apryse Server SDK and the IDP package. We support any platform and language, in this case Windows and Linux for IDP, in order to implement a solution to take in documents, find the content therein, and extract it. All this runs on whatever server you choose, whether it is bare metal run locally in the closet, your own custom cloud that you already have employed for other services. There is no limits as to where you want to, where you can deploy the Apryse SDK. Now, in the case of Bytecrafters, if they have implemented the Apryse SDK with IDP, they now have complete control over the data, which therein has updated security, because these are all running on servers and private clouds that they have complete control over. The SDK has built-in processes to extract their data, thereby eliminating the need to manually copy and paste information, so their accuracy and reliability is increased. Now, if you're not familiar with the Apryse brand, we're a large company comprised of many different smaller companies in the document processing space. We offer tools for web, server, mobile, desktop, and basically every platform that you can think of, as well as various low-code integrations such as Appian and Salesforce. You may recognize some of our subsidiaries, such as iTex, our old name PDFtron, as well as our most recent acquisition through Lead Tools. We provide tech that does things such as document generation, template document generation, document manipulation, such as conversion, editing, annotating, digital signatures, and what we're talking about here today, data extraction, taking documents, pulling essentially structured data from an unstructured PDF. So why do you even want to extract your own data? Answer is simply you already have it. It's not about collecting new information from users or customers. It's about what you already have and unlocking the power from within. Odds are there are terabytes, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of documents already within your grasp. Things like insurance claims, invoices, contracts, intake forms, all of this are likely stored as PDFs. Putting that data to work is to understand them. And to understand them, you need a data extraction solution. And once you have that, you can make better data-driven decisions. So clearly, it would be the most logical thing to extract all the information from those documents. Would a simple Google search reveal tools in order to do this better? Things like PDF to simple tables, Excel. What's the issue there? Well, the answer is that it's simply very difficult. PDFs are inherently printed documents for reading. They don't actually contain the data that you are interested in. Their structure is inherent to the layout that they are on the page, and in order to pull something like a table, you need to rebuild it into something that is actually understandable. The output of a PDF parsers is often just a long string of words and lines. It doesn't necessarily make sense that words in this grouping is a table, or that these words make up a paragraph of text. They may often be just single words in a very long string line. So what ends up happening is that a developer or a data scientist will have to rebuild context out of what is extracted out of a PDF. And this is where Apryse comes in. With our IDP package for our server SDK, we solve this solution by providing APIs that cleanly extract information in a logical manner, such that things like tables are kept, paragraphs are kept, everything that you need from the document is maintained so that information makes sense. Now, this is all solved through what we like to call the intelligent data extraction as part of our Apryse SDK, or Apryse IDP add-on for our SDK. We offer data extraction through a PDF to JSON conversion that we like to call document structure. We also have what we call form understanding, in which documents that have form information, you're able to pull out key and value data powered by our own AI engine. And we can also, through the same AI engine, recognize where there are forms in documents that are not necessarily interactive forms, so that they can be quickly converted to a fully digital PDF form. Lastly, we also have very powerful table recognition and extraction APIs, so that you can convert a page of a PDF directly to either a CSV or an Excel file with base documents that lend themselves to either spreadsheet or grid-like data extraction. Now let's start with talking about extracting information from PDFs that typically contain lots of different types of content. There's text and paragraphs, headlines, tables, pictures, and so on. Every company contains a huge trove of these type of documents, but often the content is only useful if they are individually opened and read and copy pasted by a human being. With our document structure API, we can take a PDF and turn it into a well-structured JSON. And this JSON file can then be automatically traversed to find the information that's important. Not only that, though, is that the JSON contains not just the content of the PDF document, but also information about the content, things like text size, text styling, its location on the page with the bounding box dimensions. And for tabular information, it will contain the entire table structure, whether it is in the row, data, column spans, that type of nitty-gritty detail about the table. With this, any document can be automatically converted and analyzed into some other data format for making your business decisions. Now, for instance, a company that worked with Apryse and implemented their own custom workflow, they were a finance analyst service, and they iterated through government filing PDFs. They would find tables within the document. Once they are detected, they would take those tabular information and plug them into databases for analyzing later. They would also extract text and paragraphs. This textual information could then be searched for keywords, and then there's a new business process they have is that this text can then be sent to an AI service for analyzing and summarization. So as you can see, the data extraction document structure API is extremely powerful for essentially transforming static documents into whatever data that you may find useful. Now, the previous API was focused on the entire document. A lot of the times, you're not focused on the entire document and you're only looking for specific things. And a lot of the times, that specific thing is tables. Tables contain lots of critical data. It's a very logical way for a human to understand rows and grids and columns, and so that there is a relationship in the data. Well, we have an API that focuses specifically on table, and this is our table detection and extraction APIs. This is useful for the aforementioned finance filings. You can take complete pages of tables and turn them directly right into an Excel page or a JSON that is focused on table information. So there will be clear columns, rows, and data cells containing the values therein. Now, the Apryse IDP solution also has specific APIs to deal with form documents. This is a AI-powered creation of Apryse, and we can detect form fields in non-static documents. So this can be PDFs, native PDFs that have been printed out or scanned, or static PDFs that have non-interactive fields that are just lines on a page. Our AI engine can detect these form fields and extract both the value therein and the label. Obviously, with the confidence interval, seeing how it is powered by AI, it can make mistakes at times, but we identify those with high confidence or low confidence so that you can make a decision as to whether or not this is indeed a form field that you're looking for. We can also add form fields based on what we have detected in a one-step conversion process. So a PDF that was essentially created at some point in the past and has been printed out for your customers can be automatically created into an interactive PDF for filling. We support detecting both text fields and check mark boxes or combo boxes, but also signature fields. All of this is available via our form field detection APIs. Now, lastly, through our recent acquisition of Lead Tools, the Apryse OCR APIs, which are part of the IDP package, are getting a bump in performance. In certain benchmarks, we have found that OCR can be up to 10 times more faster and more accurate thanks to Lead Tool's expertise in image processing. So using their OCR engine, manual acquisition of data through scanning can now be quicker and more useful now that it is more accurate. We have talked at length now about what is Apryse IDP, but now let's give some examples of how it can actually help you and drive your business forward. Now, AI is taking over the world. It is what is on top of mind of all private enterprises and businesses. It's changed how we do work. Chatbots, at first, which were a novel, very rudimentary way to access information, have started to really explode in their capabilities and what they can explain and help the user with. It's become commonplace and front and center. ChatGPT, Bing Chat, Gemini, they're all basically front ends to what used to be a common search engine query. However, we have to be mindful that AI is not magic. It is pre-trained information that is built into the AI entity, if you want to call it that. It only knows what it was taught. It cannot expand itself to private information. Now, there are obviously APIs that could be supplied. Copilot, as an example, is a front end that runs on your desktop in Windows and can access certain files that you may be looking at. But it is not sufficient to, say, make business decisions based on data that you may have within your organization. This is where the concept of Retrieval, Augmented, Generative AI, or as we like to call RAG AI, comes into play. Now, RAG AI is a form of LLM that is powered by a private repository of information. This can be textual content from documents, database entries, what have you, but the crux of it is that the LLM that is powering the chat interface that is your front end to your information now has access to private information separate of the AI's training. This allows it to essentially query and make well-informed decisions beyond what it was capable of based on its training information. This reduces things like AI hallucinations when it simply just makes up information. It'll improve your accuracy of your AI because you're giving it more up-to-date information. It also enhances security because the information within the AI is of your own choosing, and you're able to control where it lives. It's not being supplied by a third-party supplier. You're not having to upload documents to a cloud service in order to train it. You can host it yourself. Now, this whole concept of RAG AI and what it means to essentially privatize AI, this has all been explored in a very much in-depth guide and blog article that I'm linking here in the QR code. Please scan and you should be able to jump right to our blog post authored by myself. And you can see real true technical details and explanations complete with code examples in order to build your own RAG AI based on Apryse SDK and Python. It is utilizing OpenAI as the LLM to power the front end to your private information, if you want to call it that. But the information that you build for your LLM is hosted by yourself and uses the Apryse SDK to extract data from PDFs to build up that repository. So please take a scan and check out this blog article, and you can learn a lot more detail than we can go into in this webinar about RAG AI. Now, there are two main points to take away from this presentation. PDFs contain data and information to make decisions for your business. Now, making use of that information within the PDF is difficult, but our APIs can turn PDFs into JSON that allow you to create new insights and data-driven decisions to move your business forward. Now, data extraction with SDK IDP just works. We run basically anywhere you want, however you want it, with whatever language and platform. There's no third-party servers required. There's no training or setup to run our tools on the documents that you may have. It's just documents in and JSON data out. Or in the case with the form field extraction, it's documents in and brand new PDF forms out. Now, if you're interested, you can scan this QR code and check out the Apryse showcase. Here you can see all of our interactive user-facing solutions with WebViewer. You can also, from there, link to our dev portal and try out all the things that we have on offer. Thank you, and have a great day.